Welcome back, everybody, nieces and nephews, to another, my second ever video, viewers choice video that I cover, where I cover the stocks that you guys tell me to cover. Now, I went back to my old video. I did it last Saturday. I'm thinking about just doing it once a week. I'm willing to do more if I get like 100 likes or more. And I just looked at the comments and see what you guys wanted me to cover. So today we're going to cover about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different stocks that you guys wanted me to cover. I didn't cover every one that you guys requested, but hey, I'm going to cover a good majority of them. And first one is USO, United States Oil Fund. Okay, remember, Uncle was not a news reporter. I just cover the charts. I'm a trader, so I'm focused on the charts. I'm focused on the levels and the potential setups. I'll give you guys my lean, my general lean, if I'm bullish or bearish, or if I'm favoring more downside or upside, all that happy stuff. And right now, based on these charts, I have fib levels that I started from May 28th high, and I brought it down to June 4th high. Okay, so if you want to see the same level as me, you can add it to those pivot levels. And this is what it gave me. First level I see is 76.2. This level has not been cleared. It's been tested. We had a couple of gaps above, but never quite closed above. Okay, so for me to have a general lean, meaning to favor more upside, I need to see 76.2 clear. All right, and it'll clear when we get a daily chart close above that level. And the next big fib level I'll be watching is at 77.78. I would definitely favor and be bullish. My lean would definitely be bullish if 77.78 cleared. Okay, so overall bullish above 76.2 if it can clear and recap or capture. And of course, clearing 77.78 would put 79.5, 81.45, and 83.5, and possibly 85 in play. Now, if we look at this, you can see it's a downtrend right now. All right, downtrend. Now, I'm going to put it like this because with this is 1, 2, 3 touches. If I put it with the other one, could put it like this. That's be only 2 touches though. Maybe this will count as a third one. It will look like a breakout. So, you know what? Because this was the pivot high that came first, I'm gonna stick with this one. And this is technically a third touch. This is a gap up breakout retest as a support. Okay. So 76.2, I said if we get above that level, I would be bullish and favor more upside. But based on this trend line, there is a support at 75.5. And if we break back below 75.5, this would not be a breakout. Breakout invalidated. Could put a top in. I do have a fib level at 75. I think a breakdown of 75 would definitely be bearish. All right. So the support that I'd go with is 75. Breaking down 75, I would look to short with 73.2 and 70.4 in play. All right. So try to keep it simple with USO. Based on the price that you can, if you do fundamental analysis and all that happy stuff, great. But with the price action, you can combine it with the price action. And I can't get bullish unless USO clears 76.2 and 77.78. All right. And I'll definitely be bearish if we break down 75. So the next stock was FSLR, First Solar Inc. That you guys requested. Now, this is a stock that I was actually watching in my Discord. It was requested by my tier 3 members. And at the time, the stock was consolidating in this triangle pattern that I have. And then we got this breakout. It was a very beautiful move to the upside. However, since then, we had a false breakout. This was on Friday. False breakout, this triangle pattern. Lots of profit taken. Bulls definitely got faked out. But will there be more continuation? Now, we have to look at the levels based on the fib levels. The last level that was broken down. Which one was that? Well, I have fib levels from May 29th high down to May 31st low. And the last level that we broke down was 273.9. Okay? So the first thing that bulls need to do is invalidate that breakout. And what's the second level that was broken down? 276.9. 276.9 is the 61.8 fib level. So 273.9 and 276.9 are the two levels that both need to recapture and clear for me to be bullish again, because I need to see the behavior change. Right now, the behavior is breaking down support. So if I'm going to follow the price action, I need to see it break out resistant levels in order to be bullish. However, we are sheeps. We must be ready for the bull case scenario and the bear case scenario. So the last levels that were broken down was 273.9 and 276.9. That means as long as below these levels, the breakdown stays intact. And because the breakdown of support level is a bearish price action behavior, I would stay bearish, because why? I'm following the price action. And below 273.9 would keep next support levels in play, which I have at 270.9. I don't know what's up with all the 0.9s on this stock, but that's what it gave me, okay? I'm just a reporter. And breaking down that level, 270.9, will put 267.2 in the bottom of the triangle pattern, which is at 264.7 in play. All right? Now, I always tell you guys, you want to get bearish and try to call the top. False breakouts will help you out with that. And bottoms, false breakdowns would help you out with that. So I wouldn't trust no bounce, because it's been profit-taking mode right now. I wouldn't trust no bounce unless we get a false breakdown, meaning loss levels getting recaptured. And those levels are 273.9 and 276.9. All right, guys? Got to recapture those levels to put the upper targets in play, 281 or higher. But if below and still below, and you see the behavior, they test these levels and is rejecting, you're seeing wicks from there, 15, 30-minute chart, could stay bearish. All right? Next stock, viewer's choice, is DKNG, DraftKings. I have fib levels from this pivot low on February 22nd all the way up to March 27th right here, okay? I'm going to remove this downtrend line. I don't need it anymore, but I still need my fib levels. See how well is respecting it so far. Recently, got to look at the behavior. Recently, on June 11th, we recaptured a critical fib level. 37.83 was that level. Okay, you guys can see we broke it down on late May, recaptured it, false breakdown setup on June 10th. Showed follow through for a couple of days. Then we had a nice little pullback where you can see the wick here. You can see the wick here getting some buying pressure. So what I want you to pay attention to is how we got that recapture, right? You got a recapture. Okay. Boom. Got a recapture right there. And then we got a back test. A back test of that recaptured level as support. So what we see here is a role reversal of the critical level. What is that level? It's a fib level at 37.83. Okay. Now it's not pinpoint. I know it's not pinpoint, but it's a zone. We recaptured it when it was lost. That level then turns into support. So because of this context, 37.83 is my equilibrium level, because this is a false breakdown and a back test. As long as above, I'm going to lean bullish. I'm going to favor more upside. Okay? 37.83. And breaking out 40 would definitely be bullish follow through and put higher targets in play. All right. Now, based on that context, if we lose 37.83 as a support, I would then switch back to bearish. Okay, because we see this is a false breakout, or in this context, it is a false recapture. Okay, I'm willing to be adaptable. I don't care if it's up. I don't care if it's down. I care about catching the setups level to level. And if there's a home run, I'll leave a runner. Okay? I just want my P&L to be green. And I want to take my losses as small as possible. I want my losses to be as small as possible. That's all it is. Now, coin, another viewer's choice. Coin looks like it's trying to, I'm going to tell you, it's looking like it's trying to put in a lower high here with multiple rejections at this 200% fib level, multiple, all right, which is lower than this high that we had here back in late March. Okay, now at the end of the day, price action has the final say. Okay, so what happened? What is the context? Well, after getting multiple rejections from this fib level up here, we had this breakout last Friday, a breakdown, excuse me, of 245.5. Got the close below. Not a very convincing, strong breakdown, but it is a breakdown nonetheless. Because one breakdown or one breakout leads to the next setup. So with 245.5 broken down, that level then becomes resistant, making next support at 244, 242, 240, and 237. Okay? So what does this mean? This means for me to be bullish, 245.5 needs to recapture. We're no longer overbought. When we was testing these critical resistance level, we was pretty overbought on the RSI. So now that we cool down a bit, can the next test be a breakout? Well, in order for it to be another test of that critical resistance level up here, 245.5 needs to recapture. Okay? Recapture that. That will put 247, 250 in play. Clearing 250 would be bullish to me. And that will put 256 or higher in play. Now, the big test of the resistance level, well, I have the fib level at 261.2 and then the sell zone around 263-ish. That can be tested again. But in order to deny the bears of a lower height, that level must clear. Okay? And in order to even get there, we need to recapture 245.5 first. One setup, one level at a time. It's like in life, we take it one day at a time. Same with the trading. One setup, one level at a time. Bullish above 245.5. Now, if we start continue to break down support while we're below 245.5, it's bearish, guys. Break it out 244, 242, 240. Watch it. Add those levels to your charts as horizontal lines. If it break down those levels, we're heading down lower. Next critical fib levels at 233.2 with 224.5 below that. All right, that's what I have for coin, guys. AVGO. Now, you guys, we had a crazy gap up on the daily chart. You guys can see that. All right, look like an island over here. So because of the island, I had to go down to the 1 hour chart to chart this to try to find more shorter term pivot levels. Okay, because this stock, the levels are very spread apart. But as of right now, last Friday, we closed around 1740-ish on the last candle of the evening. Most important thing is, where is the critical support levels? All right, well, first support level I have is at 1739.5. 1739.5 is a support level, with 1737 and 1735.6. Now, when would I start leaning bearish? I would start leaning bearish if 1735.6 breaks down as support. Even if we pull back down a little bit, we could consolidate before a move up higher. You know, we did have a crazy gap up with this stock. No guarantees, but it's possible. If 1735.6 hold as support on any pullback, this support so far is showing that it has some, demand there, showing that this can be buying pressure there, but it must continue, and it must show some follow through, clearing next resistance at 1744 and 1746, and that will put higher highs, new all-time highs in play. But only possible if 1735.6 hold as support on any pullback. That is my equilibrium level, because if that level fails, I think we get a nice pullback to the downside, 1732.5, 1730, maybe all the way down to 1724-ish. All right, very big possibility. But 1735.6 must fail. Here is Moderna. Moderna. Oh my goodness. How do I have this charted? So, looks like Moderna's been pulling back, but is this going to be a double bottom here? If this is going to be a double bottom, I only trust the bounce when resistance clears. Okay, right now I have resistance at 142, 144, and 145.5. I would trust the bottom and maybe a W pattern playing out if 145.5 can recapture. All right, guys? Otherwise, if we break down 137.6, it's going to get nasty on Moderna. All right, it's going to get nasty. 136, of course, 133. I think we drop all the way down to 130, which would be a $7+ move. And yeah, below 130, it's going to get even more nastier. More nastier. But the point is, guys, I don't want to like go too far into the future. But the point is, if we break down 137.69, I can't help but be bearish. I don't care what the RSI said. But if the RSI say is oversold, which it is right now, then it needs to be combined with the price action. And like I said, recapturing lost levels, 142, 144, 145.5, with a combined RSI being oversold would definitely be a good setup for longs. Does that make sense, guys? Now here is Clean Spark, CLSK. Okay, I'm covering the stocks that you guys want me to cover. We got this downtrend line here, triangle, downtrend line though. Fib levels at 17.9. So it's very simple. If we ought to get bullish on Clean Spark, CLSK, 17.9 must clear first. If it does, I would look to long. This stock is pretty cheap stock. I wouldn't even trade options with it. With cheap stock like this, I'd just buy the stock. Buy the shares. Yeah, 17.9 clears, 19.2, 20.5, 22.3, and 24.7 would all be in play. Fib levels, okay, look like this Kasala is coiling. Could be a big move incoming. And if it is to the upside, like I said, 17.9 must clear. If it doesn't, that means not clearing. And if it's not clearing, that means not bullish yet. You gotta be patient. Patient pace, right? Cliche, I know. But overall, 17.9 and 19.2 must clear to be bullish. Now, if this is a true rejection, 17.9 being resistant, if it's a true rejection, a strong one, then it needs to break down support. I have support at 17.2 and 16.3. Those two levels fail, it's going to get bearish. All right, 15 and 13.7, possibly 12 would be in play below. All right, guys, and last but not least, here is SMCI. This is a super micro computer. You guys, a lot of people have been asking me to cover this stock. You guys love that volatility. I love it too, guys. I love it too. On a daily chart, though, we have ourselves an inside candle setup. And the problem with this really volatile stock is the inside candle setups. It's not like most stocks because the range is so darn big. So I don't even really want to cover the inside candle setup on this stock, but it's worth mentioning it's there. And the range being 784 to 883. That's a $99 range there. It doesn't feel like a chop when the range is that big. But we can look at, we go to a smaller time frame, right? When it's so wide like this, so volatile, we go small time frame. You can go to a 1 hour chart to try to find more shorter term levels. Okay, so these lines right here, the yellow and blue line, they're fib levels from the daily chart and the weekly chart. But we're trying to find something a little more shorter term so we can find those pivot levels that can help us get entry when it's, you know. So we go on a 1 hour. We see we got this nice little up move and then a pullback, right? So the trend is, you know, the trend is looking bullish in the short term. So we're going to do this. Find that pivot high to that pivot low. Change the color so we don't get confused. We'll change it to orange, okay? So what's the pivot high for this candle? June 14th candle. It is 883.64. So I'll put 64. And we find this pivot low right here. 825.63. And we do it to try to find more shorter term pivot levels. Now the daily chart and the weekly chart levels are the most important ones because they represent the bigger picture. But these shorter terms, you know, the small details, they help, you know, help us get in, help us to get entry. And for what I'm seeing right now, I have support at 841 and 839.3. 841 and 839.3. If these levels fail, bearish with 835.8. 833.2, 830, and 825.6 in play. And to get bearish in favor of deeper pullback, 839.3 must fail. 841 and 839.3. All right. Now, if we're going to get bullish, then I got resistance at 843 and 845. 843 and 845. if those levels clear, I would definitely look to long with 846, 847.7, 850, 854 plus in play, guys. Did you guys get all that? I know it's a mouthful. Okay? So that's what I have for you guys today for the viewer's choice, guys. Make sure you guys check out my regular video where I cover the SPY and some FANG stocks, Triple Q, NVDA, you know, Apple, all right? And I do my little dark pool and option flow just to give you guys the info. All right? I see you guys. Peace.